that to me, and it's not weight training only, it is contracting your muscles. So it's dancing, walking, running. I mean, anything that you do to contract your muscles, create these molecules that go to your brain that help balance out your hormones. That to me is like mind blowing. Mind blowing.
Welcome back to PCOS Unfiltered, where we ditch the one-size-fits-all advice. I'm Lindsie, nurse turned health coach, author of Healing Beyond the Diagnosis and Body Wisdom Guide. Here, I help you understand the messages behind your symptoms. Now, before we get into today's guest, I wanted to remind you all that the Healthy Ever After app is now live. It is your one-stop shop for our community, podcast resources, recipes, exclusive content, and when you join, you'll instantly receive my free Summer Sanity Guide. You can find the link to download on Apple or Android in the show notes. So today, my guest is Jen Brinsmade, and Jen is passionate about empowering the next generation. She is a wellness coach dedicated to helping teen girls and young women embrace and embody optimal mind and body health, resilience, and personal power. Starting her own wellness and personal growth journey at 19, she has transformed her life, allowing herself to cultivate deep self-awareness, vibrant health, and a purposeful connection to herself, to others, and nature. By adopting proactive health and wellness habits now to protect their mental and physical health, she believes teen girls and young women not only improve their current health and wellness, but also lay the groundwork for a thriving and fulfilling future. As a lifelong learner, Jen's approach is firmly rooted in science. Through her empathetic and firm coaching, she creates a safe, empowering environment where teen girls and young women can grow into the healthiest and most confident versions of themselves. As always, this podcast is intended for educational and informational purposes only and should not be considered medical advice. Please consult your healthcare provider before making any changes to your diet, exercise, or treatment plan. Now go ahead and settle in, maybe get ready to take some notes, and let's dive in. Here is my conversation with Jen Brinsmade. So I want to hear more about this speak pillar. Is that kind of what this, I don't know, is this where we're going with this? What does that really mean,
Well,
in your work?
in the speak pillar is about communication, right? How you communicate with not just yourself, but with others, right? I mean, the teenager tends to, and I have a teen and I also have a 23-year-old, so I can speak to my experience. Um, you know, they say what they feel like saying, and it is always nice or kind, I should say, and teaching them how to communicate what you need because it's very important to not hold things inside, to not try to please everyone. If something's going on that you need to communicate, learn the proper way to do it just to help yourself be able to communicate what's going on inside and stay connected to that other person, right? You don't have to be so rude about something if you're upset about it. You can share, this is what's going on for me. I just want you to know this is what's going on for me. It's the speaking to others, but it's also speaking to yourself because so much, I teach them, it starts here, right? I just launched on Instagram and all week we're talking about the think habit because it all begins in your mind. And so much of it is automatic and we don't even realize it's not us, this voice that's telling us something. It's our brain keeping us safe, right? So when we learn that that is a habit that just has happened over time, how we can speak to ourselves in a kind way, because when we don't speak to ourselves, our whole life unfolds, right? In a not necessarily a positive way. And so, yeah, I just think that it is vital for this generation, especially, that they learn how to speak to themselves, how to listen to their thoughts and question them, right? And then how to use your words in order for you to be able to communicate and get your point across in a kind way.
Yeah, I love that. So PCOS can feel really isolating, especially, for teenagers. How does connection as a pillar actually support physical and hormonal well-being and not just emotional health.
Yeah, gosh. Well, again, like I said, the connection to yourself, right? Listening, sitting in stillness. I teach the girls how to meditate, right? Because I can't tell you how many adults tell me, oh, I've tried that. I can't do that. I can't shut my thoughts off, right? It's not about that because meditation's like this.
Mm.
Thoughts come in. Thank goodness. That means your brain's working. Learn how to just notice them and let them pass, right? I teach them, pretend like you're sitting on a rock and you're watching this flowing river and there's leaves on the river. Your thoughts are on those leaves. And
Mhm.
oh, you notice, oh, there's a thought and let it go. It's flowing. You can't stop. I mean, you could try to pick every single one up, then you just feel like you're all over the place. And just keep letting it flow through you, right? Don't hold on to it. So there's that, being able to sit in stillness and connect to yourself. Also, not judge yourself because you have this condition of PCOS, and also learning that there are so many things that you can do, so many habits that you can create that will help manage your symptoms in a very powerful way. And then, I didn't really have a chance to talk about it yet, but I have the Peace and Power Habits Collective and is an online community. And, this is a space where girls get a chance to connect with one another. And so my whole vision, I just launched it last month, is they're learning. So they're learning through videos, they're learning all the different pillars. I have something called Becoming Her, which is where they begin, and it really teaches them the foundations, how to build confidence, how to question your thoughts, excuse me, things like that. And then we'd have a coaching call once a month on Zoom, and we dive deeper into those pillars. But the girls always have access to the community so they can talk to one another. They can ask me questions. I have guided meditations there. I also do what I call the daily pep talks, which is anywhere from like 3 to 7 minutes of motivation for the day,
Oh, cool.
because it's something that I've, personal development has been something that I've been on this path since I was in my 20s, reading books, learning from mentors, and I listen every single day, and there's so many things I'm like, oh, I forgot that, right? So I want the younger generation to get that, intentionally becoming a better version of yourself. Not that you're not perfect exactly as you are, because we all are, but we can always improve on who we are and how we become, right, in the world, how we show up for others, how we show up not just for ourselves. Like if you look at my logo, it's a drop of water with 3 rings, right? And it's very intentional. The girl is the drop of water. And so my belief is that when they do the work on themselves, that first ring is they do that work on themselves and they work on their healthy habits, they are going to impact their family and their friends. The second ring is their community. The third ring is the world. Like they will show up so differently, and how they show up will positively impact other people. People will want what they have, and it's work. I mean, it's simple. Like I said, it's not easy to do the work on yourself regularly. Most people just want to say, this is who I am, but it's a growth mindset. It's not a fixed mindset.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
I
and
love
so getting back to what you asked is being
that.
part of a community. These aren't girls necessarily with PCOS, but in that community, if that's something that they're going through, they can chat with other girls about it. They can chat with me about it and not feel alone. Going to social media and scrolling and watching other people, right? That comparison that sets in on, I mean, listen, we all do it, right?
Mhm.
The teenage brain, especially with not being fully developed yet,
Yeah.
just to be able to have a space where they feel seen and heard and supported.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I love that. Um, so movement. Like I feel like especially for women with PCOS, this comes, I get asked this about movement, what kind of exercise should I do? What's best? All this. Well, first of all, yes, I call it movement myself. I don't say exercise anymore because I feel like I've been guilty of that with, I can go, even if I've been in training mode and I can go run for like 2 hours, but then if I'm on the couch the rest of the day, I'm like, what did I do?
Right,
But I'm interested to hear what you say because I always tell people, I'm like, the best workout you can do is the one you enjoy,
right.
So whether it's, strength, I do believe strength training has a purpose. There's cardio has a purpose, but truly, I think you need to kind of find what enjoy as well and just do it and move your body. And yeah. So what does that pillar look like? Um, you know,
Well,
for
I
your
agree with you,
journey?
Lindsay. I mean, I do think that is movement, especially coming back to devices. I mean, sitting and scrolling is
Yeah.
not going to help your body be the healthiest version of itself, right? So I agree. It's moving your body to what you love, whether it's dance, walking, paddleboarding, riding your bike, like just be an active human
Exactly.
and learn. And, I do teach them how to be more intentional about their use of their devices because I think that it's so important for them to be able to, it's not going away. So we have to learn how to have the habits around it that we don't just spend hours on end because what happens? Hours on end, it takes away from hours of our life doing other things that really bring joy to us, right? That really create a life well lived, connection with our family, with our friends. And it's not the same, like I told them, it's not the same connection as when you're Snapchatting, right? If you're face to face with someone, making eye contact, it is not the same. But coming back to the movement, yeah, I do think that I highly encourage the girls to strength train because, especially if you have PCOS and just how it helps balance out your hormones. It directly impacts your insulin resistance, which is huge. And there's something that scientists have learned through studies just by contracting the muscles, being able to generate what they call hope molecules, right, that help reduce depression. I mean, that to me, and it's not weight training only, it is contracting your muscles. So it's dancing, walking, running. I mean, anything that you do to contract your muscles create these molecules that go to your brain that help balance out your hormones. That
Yeah.
to me is like mind blowing, mind blowing. And more people need to know about that. That
Mhm.
how they say that exercise is the most underutilized antidepressant. And
Yeah.
I understand just through some of my research that depression is an issue for young women and women with PCOS. And so what a beautiful way to counterbalance that by utilizing your own body chemistry, right?
Mhm.
It's like
Yeah.
mind blowing. It is
No,
mind blowing.
yeah.
So yeah, weight training to me and it doesn't have to be you go in to the gym and pump iron with all the gym bros if you feel uncomfortable with that, right? I've been doing it a long time. I got over my embarrassment, fear, whatever you want to call it, because none of my friends would go with me and I wanted it. I don't know why. I started training with my brother in the basement with just a few weights, right? Well, I was a very, very, very thin teenager and I was like, I got to do something to change this because I just had long limbs and long legs. And in my mind, it was more, you know, it was more vanity. It's not that any longer. But well, maybe. I like having muscles, but but it's not a requirement, right? It is just the power that you feel within
Yeah.
yourself and that confidence every time you do something hard. And I teach the girls that too. Do hard things because to me, as you learn to do hard things, it's that competence loop, right? Every time you do something hard, and you realize that you survived from it because you may have been afraid of it, but then you did it anyway. You pushed yourself through it and then you realize, oh, I handled that. You do
Yeah.
it again. You become this level of confidence within yourself that you can apply to so many other areas of your life. And I truly feel like a lot of my confidence through the years was built lifting weights and in the gym because I was doing hard things and I still do. And
Yeah.
it's a great feeling to know your body's capability.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I was, it made me think because I was, as I mentioned, I was up in Michigan with my family, and I have two little nieces that I just, love spending time with up there. And I've been strength training more myself lately, just been kind of in that phase, loving it, but feeling stronger. But like I'm picking up my like 55-pound, niece. I was bench pressing my younger niece who'll be 3 next month. She's, I don't know, probably 30 pounds or something, and I'm like, and she's just laughing the whole time, but to me though, it's the quality too, the quality of life, and just being able to move with them, and I'm not just sitting there watching them play, or just talking to them. I'm actually in it, and I'm having fun with them, and able to do that too. And I think strength training, whatever it is, just movement in general, helps improve the quality.
Absolutely. And to me, it's like, like I said earlier, you get one life. Why put yourself in a position to age before you need to age, right? We could obviously, we're all aging chronologically, but when you do have these habits, and it's been my experience, right? I mean, it's not necessarily for everyone, but I truly believe even if it's a portion of those habits, it will help you live your life in a much, just in a capacity that just feels aligned with health, right? And it's strength. Like to me, it's like why, they say don't let the old man in or don't like let the old lady in. Like do what you can to take good care of yourself, move your joints. Like I hear people say, well, I'm not flexible. Well, you can get flexibility. You just have to practice at it, right? The mobility training is so essential as we age, right? To be able to move your body in multiple ways and have experiences like you did, right? Just to
Yeah.
be able to do something like that. I mean, I wouldn't recommend bench pressing your niece all the time, but you're able to do it.
Yeah.
You're able to do it.
Yeah.
And why put yourself in a position before it, true age sets in? But then again, it's like, what does that mean? Right? I mean, at the gym, I have one of my best gym friends is Jerry, and Jerry's 85. That
Mhm.
guy, I told him, you are my idol. He
That's
spins
awesome.
every day. He's in the gym and he's so cute. He says to me, all right, Jen, what's that exercise? What's it doing? Can you show me how to do that? All right,
Oh,
I'm going to add that one. You know? And I told him, I said, you were my idol. To me, I want to be you when I'm
oh my
85.
gosh. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's just,
Oh,
again, when you learn those habits young, staying consistent with them and finding what works for you, enjoying movement of your body, not seeing it as a punishment.
exactly.
Moving your body is, to me, it is, what's the word? I mean, it is, I don't want to say it's a responsibility, but to me, it's something that we're benefiting from it, right? It's the word's not coming to me. I'm having a senior moment. But again, it's just all of the benefits that you get from moving your body over time. You're that age that you will have, the chronological age more than likely is not going to be what you actually feel like. Like at
Exactly.
56, I'm not sure what that's supposed to feel like, but I do
Yeah.
know at 56.
Yeah, and I'm the same way. Like I said, I'll be 44 this year, and yeah, so the fact that I can like do all that stuff and still run around with them all day is amazing to me, and I'm not like defined by that number or feel like I'm limited by that number. So, yeah.
Yeah, and you know what happens typically is as we age, we're like chasing comfort, right? And that's why I feel that teaching young women how to do hard things now and see that they can build that confidence and believe in themselves throughout their life, they won't be afraid to do hard things. Like I have a cold plunge. And so at the end of my teen empowerment group, we cold plunge, right? It's set at 56 degrees. It's cold, but it's not terrible. And what I teach them, yes, there's so many physical benefits, but the mental benefit, right? Understanding that you can say, oh no, I'm not getting in that water. I do not like cold water. Oh, I'm not going to do that. Teaching them some mental tools, teaching them some breathing techniques, how to climatize their body, and then slowly lowering themselves into what they thought that they could never do they wake up to the belief in themselves that, yeah, I made that up. My brain made that up to keep me safe. And now I realize that I can overpower it with the way I choose to think. It's a choice. And then
Yeah.
on the other side, I always tell them, on the other side of that fear is freedom.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, and then when you can see that you did that, apply that to the rest of your life,
Hmm.
you know?
I love that. Um, so as we kind of start to wrap up, we've got two more to go, which restore you kind of touched on already, but what does live represent in your framework?
You know, live is, again, I think the live pillar is just consistently having habits that support mind and body health, and also doing the work to know what brings you joy. What, purpose. What does purpose mean, right? To me, purpose is, it changes throughout your life. My purpose when my kids were little was being the best mom that I could possibly be. That was important to me. Now that they're older, I've shifted. My purpose is always going to be a mom, but my purpose now is to share my wisdom with the younger generation, right? That's what I believe my purpose to be. And just teaching young women that they don't have to have it all figured out, but living your life and living it mindfully, like feeling your days. Notice the beauty of the blue sky. Listen to the birds outside, right? Sit and listen to, at dinner, make eye contact with your family members. All of those things are part of living. It's living intentionally and mindfully and not getting so stuck up in your head and worrying about so and so what they snapped you just a moment ago, right? Like be present to your moments, because I always share with them, your moments are all you have. What happened in the past is just that. What's
Yeah.
happening in the future, you still have no idea. You only have this moment. And how are you going to live this moment? It's up to you.
Yeah. Love that. So for someone that, for woman, young woman, maybe they've been diagnosed with PCOS, maybe they feel like something's off, something's going on, they're starting to just feel overwhelmed. Where in those 8 pillars would you recommend somebody to start?
I think it's the diet. It's the eat pillar. It's, learning how to eat foods that are going to feed your cells, are going to help your hormones balance out. Again, with PCOS, I know there's issues with skin health. The micronutrients from fruits and vegetables, most people don't eat even half of what they should be eating, right? Being able to consume it and then balancing it out with some supplements. I mean, I don't know if you've ever heard of Juice Plus, but Juice Plus is fruits and vegetables, capsules, gummies, like supplying, just filling in those gaps with things like that, or a multivitamin that comes from Whole Foods. Yeah, I think that to me, that's where I would start. And keeping it simple. Yes, you
Hmm.
can go and get inspired on Pinterest or Instagram with all the millions of recipes out there, but what will you do? Like, focus on those macronutrients and how to get the proper amount in your body in order for your body to thrive.
Yeah. Yeah. Love it. So last question, how can anybody find you and connect with you? I'll link everything in the show notes, but still, I want you to let everybody know.
Yeah, so peaceandpowerhabits.com is my website. I just launched for my focus on teens on Instagram. It's peaceandpower_Jen. Yeah, and so that's those two areas are where I am. I'm launching on LinkedIn. Like I'm just now kind of going out to all the socials, but yeah, I mean, being able to reach out to me on Instagram probably would be the easiest way. There's also on my website, you can book as a parent. You can book a free discovery call with me just to learn about all of the things that I offer, whether it's the in-person event, I'm in Austin, Texas, or the online community, how that can help support their daughter to just be able to learn how to take the best care of themselves. Like I said to you, parents of teenagers oftentimes need guides. They need other people. It takes a village because, part of what they're learning to do is to separate from their parents, and they oftentimes don't listen to them in the most vital years, right? So
Yeah.
having someone like Jen, right?
Mhm.
Jen, who is not your mom. I am a mom, but I am not their mom. They hear me differently,
Yeah.
right? And I'm a coach, so I'm also paid to push. I don't take what from them when they make excuses, right? If we have grow work to do and they don't get it done, I'll listen to their excuse and then I'll bring them back to that higher version of themselves that will be integrous and will do what they said they would do.
Yeah, love
Yeah.
that. Awesome. Oh my gosh. Well, thank you so much for joining me.
Oh,
This
you're
was
welcome. This was fun.
amazing. Yes, thank you. Thank you. And yeah, we'll see you next time.
Thanks, Lindsie.
That was such an amazing conversation with Jen. I'll be sure to link everything in the show notes if you'd like to connect with her. Now, if you're enjoying the podcast, come join us inside the Healthy Ever After app. It's where we continue the conversation with community, recipes, resources, and exclusive content. Plus, you'll get my free summer sanity guide just for joining. The link is in the show notes for you. And if you love this episode, make sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with someone who needs to hear it. Because healing doesn't come from doing more, it comes from understanding better. I'm sending you so much love, and I'll see you on the next episode of PCOS Unfiltered. Nourish, heal, thrive.